Hello, welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in your day. I'm so glad you're back with me on the Wealth Reimagined podcast here on the Family Bloodline Network. And welcome back. It is Monday. We're at another Monday. It has been so hot where I am. I don't know what the temperature has been like for you, but it has been a straight heat wave where I am, and it has been wearing me out. It's really kind of putting a damper on all of my plans. Also, because I am very sensitive to the heat. My goodness, it just zaps all of my energy. And so I hope wherever you are able to stay cool, but you're also able to just get out and enjoy, just the sights, and hopefully you're near some water, where you kind of cool off a little bit, but, keep those electrolytes nearby is really all I could tell you. But hopefully you've had a great week, and you're off to a great start wherever you are on your Monday. So just hoping for productivity, just success, just putting all those things out there and hoping all those things for everyone listening. So, so many things have been going on for me here recently. Lots of big accomplishments, things I've been working really hard for, have really finally have come through for me, and I'm just in preparation for a move. You might notice my setup is a little bare. I've been taking things down and packing, and just getting ready to move and get set up in a different space. But I did not want to miss this opportunity, though, to share just more, hopefully, just tips and just things to think about, things to hopefully just help you on your financial journey. If you are new here, welcome to the podcast. We are a community where we are working on mindset around budgeting, eliminating debt, saving, and all of those, building those financial muscles and foundational pieces so that you can move on into the big world of investing and wealth building. And so it's really important to me that you all know the basic foundational pieces, because you have to know these basic foundational things in order to elevate yourself into those wealth goals. And so that's hence the name Wealth Reimagined. If this is something that you thought that you could never aspire to or get to, or you just didn't come from a family that was wealthy, that's fine. You don't have to. And we'll touch on that just slightly today. And, as we talk about today's topic, which is lifestyle inflation, it's a real thing. I'm glad that I know the term that goes with this thing that I'm sure impacts us all, because we're human and we generally react in similar ways to similar situations, because it's just human nature. And so before we dive in, again, if you are new, or if you haven't yet, you're not new, and you haven't liked or subscribed, go ahead and hit that like button now. And subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss all the great content that's being put out there. It's a great network. Nothing is restricted here, because there is no sponsorships inhibiting what needs to be said. And so I know for here and on this program, very I want it to be very useful to your everyday choices, thinking, things you're going to run into. I want to talk about real life things here. So we're going to jump into life inflation. So you might be wondering, what is life inflation? Life inflation is that time where you feel like you have to upgrade your life because you got something new. So what that new thing would be, oh, I finally got the job. I got the job, or I got that raise. And so therefore, you feel that now that I have this, I must do, you fill in the blank. Now that I got a new job, now that I got a job, I'm going to go buy a car. Now that I got this raise, I'm going to go buy that handbag. Now that I'm getting more money, I'm going to go spend more money. That's basically what it is. And I think we've all done it. I've done it. I'm like, oh, I got a job now. I see it in um, loan reviews, young borrower, um, haven't even started the job yet and applying to buy a car. You don't even have a paycheck yet. It's like, just slow down. But that's how we get wrapped up in lifestyle inflation. And again, it impacts everybody. It's really a wealth thief if you think about it. And the reason I say that is because remember, I've said in prior episodes that your biggest tool to wealth building is your income. Okay. But it's not really about how much you earn, it's more about how much you keep. So you don't have to be rolling in the earnings, okay, to build wealth. You don't. It's all about what you do with what you have. It's about being that good steward. And the reason that it's to me is so important that you understand how to manage your household finances, because if you can manage a household, you can manage a business, okay? And so wealth building can severely be impacted by lifestyle inflation and those choices that we make. And so lifestyle inflation can be either, from large purchases, big changes that you make, big upgrades, right? Oh, I'm gonna get a new car. Oh, I'm gonna get that bigger TV that now I gotta also figure out how I'm gonna mount it. Oh, I gotta buy the mount. Oh, I don't have the tools to mount it. Oh, so now I gotta hire somebody. Oh, like it just snowballs the wrong way. It's the wrong kind of snowball. The only snowball we want to talk about around here is a debt snowball, okay? Not expenses, not in creating more expenses and taking away from that race, okay? Um there's also these like smaller ways that this lifestyle creep happens. That can be those little upgrades. I got the raise, so now let's go out to eat. When I start dining out, I'm gonna start buying my wife flowers every week. I'm gonna go and sign up for that new subscription. I'm just gonna have that shipped directly to me now that I'm making a little more. Those are like little small things that if you don't sit down and really think about the reality of your raise or the reality of your new job, a lot of times it's not as much as you think. Okay. Lifestyle inflation, a lot of times that raise is happening honestly just so you can be comfortable. So you can be comfortable in what you're currently doing, because just like you may have gotten a raise, all of your other expenses in the outside are going to go up too. 9 times out of 10, if you work for a corporation and you have health insurance and other benefits, you got to re-enroll every year, right? Those expenses have probably crept up a little bit too. Or you notice that, the expenses have gone up for your medical, so you had to up your health savings account contribution. Your childcare maybe has gone up. Your auto insurance has gone up. Everything around you is going up. And so that's why we get into this lifestyle inflation hamster wheel, really, because when the income goes up, then we think we are owed or entitled to spending more, or we've been, Maybe you have a delayed gratification on something and now you're just like, I deserve this now. I have waited long enough and now I'm going to do it, you know? And, you know, I don't, no judgment here, right? You, based off of decisions that we make, then we have to deal with the consequences of those decisions later. Sometimes there's a consequence for it, sometimes there isn't. I mean, so last week we talked about sinking funds, right? And the thing that I really love about sinking funds is that it prevents you from going into debt, but you're saving this money for a purpose, and that's to spend it for something. It has a specific category. So you're not depriving your something. You're not, excuse me. So you're not depriving yourself, but you are delaying gratification in that way because you're like, I'm going to buy this when I have the money versus putting it on a credit card, right? Inflation, lifestyle inflation also kind of keeps us broke. It keeps us where, this was lifestyle inflation, honestly, was my aha moment because I was trying to figure out how is it that I have gotten to this point and I'm making this much, but I'm still struggling. Why am I still struggling? And when I had that aha moment, that's when everything changed for me. So my situation was, I'm a single mom, and I'm doing my best to keep building and building and building, and I want to be able to give and provide and do all these things for my children. And, I remember when I was starting over from after my divorce, and all that I could afford was a 1-bedroom apartment, right? And as soon as I got, I did the lifestyle inflation thing. As soon as I got a raise, I got a 2-bedroom apartment, right? Oops, let me pause it. Then I got a 2-bedroom apartment, right? And I was able to, which then led to me having to buy bunk beds, right? Because in the 1-bedroom apartment, when I had my parenting time, when my daughters would be there, I would have them sleep in the bedroom. I would sleep in the living room, right? Then I was finally able to upgrade to a 2-bedroom apartment. But then when you upgrade, usually then there's more expenses, right? Then I had to get bunk beds, meaning then I had to buy mattresses, and, and of course the rent went up because it was more square footage. And then I remember probably getting another raise. So what did I do? I went and got a townhome to rent. I rented a townhome. And so then I needed more furniture because I have more square footage. And so you just we do that. We have more money, then we feel like we need to upgrade. And so you can avoid lifestyle creep and still enjoy your life. And it's all with things we've already been talking about. If you've been with me these last couple of months, we've already been talking about these things. Okay. And so a couple ways you can do that would be the first way, and it's kind of twofold. The first way would be practice gratitude and live below your means. Practicing gratitude, it just helps you already realize what you already have. And usually we already have everything we honestly need, but we get wrapped up. I talked about this last week too. We get wrapped up, or a week before, in comparing yourself to other people you either know, to people you don't know online, to your coworkers. All of my coworkers have this type of vehicle. They all have large SUVs. I have a sedan. I need to upgrade. I look like I'm not a part of this group or whatever it is. It's like, just be grateful you have a vehicle that goes from point A to point B every day. It's reliable. It gets you to work. It gets you home. It gets you to the grocery store. It gets you to your children's school events. Like, just be grateful. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful that you have a roof over your head, because there's people that don't. It's practicing gratitude versus comparing yourself. It's very important. It's very helpful. You'd be surprised if you really sat down and thought about it. You could be all woe is me, but you probably really are doing fine. You're probably doing just fine. And coupled with that is living below your means. So if you're able to recognize these things and be grateful for what you have, hopefully it helps you to live below your means. Like, do you really need that new handbag? Do you really need those new J's? Do you really need to upgrade your car to the newer model? It's those things. And it's just, we just want to, instead of always doing the whole upgrade game, just hopefully as you realize you have really what you need and the people around you that you love, it'll help you put a pause on the upgrade, because you already have it. You already have it. And there's other things you could be doing with that extra money, because it's probably not as much as you think it is, right? It might have sounded like a lot when they gave you the big annual number, but if you just do the math and divide it by 12, it's probably not as much as you think. And once you factor in the higher cost of everything else around you. So just living below your means. And then the other thing, you might have heard me talk about a budget around here. You got to do a budget. Do it ahead of time. I always do mine ahead of time. Like, I'm told, okay, we're going to give you this much. Okay. Like, I'm literally probably doing divided by 12, like, why in the middle of the conversation? Because then I'm like, okay, that's really only an extra $300 a month. So extra $300 a month. What can I do with that? It's probably going to be less than $300 a month after I find out how much my insurance is going to be and how much will be coming out and how much I need to up my health savings account. It's probably really like an extra $100 a month when we get done, So sticking to a budget and tracking your spending, crucial. Non-negotiable, as I've been telling you. Having that budget is non-negotiable, and these are reasons why. Lifestyle inflation is a real thing. You heard that number and you're like, cool. I'm about to get another car. I'm trading this in. I'm trading this car in. And I'm getting another car. And we've all done it in some way. We've all done it some way. And so, there are some other things you can do. So think about this. I'm sure that you have been told certain things, maybe by people before you, your elders, your parents, your grandparents, and they told you, certain ways to do things to be successful. Well, the reality is a lot of those things have changed. Life has changed so much since our parents, our grandparents, times and dealings with things, so many technological advances and things like that. The way inflation has been higher than usual. I think inflation used to average about 2 to 3% a year, and we've seen like 6, 7%. Ooh, if you're a young person, I know you're like 6, 7. But a lot of those things have changed. A lot of those things aren't in place. A lot of people don't start a job right out of high school and work it until they retire to show loyalty. People bounce around. a lot of employers don't offer the same like pension plans. Like our parents and grandparents had an opportunity to be a part of to help them save for retirement. Um, and it sounds like Social Security is a coin toss. Like, I don't know, are we gonna get it? Are we not gonna get it? I mean, it just so there's all these things that have changed. And there's so much that we have to take control of ourselves. And I really would encourage you to have a mindset like that anyway. Don't sit around and think someone's going to bail you out of a situation or be there to take care of you. You have to set yourself up for success. The government's not coming to help. The city's not coming to help. I don't know who you're waiting on to come help. They're not coming. You have to be able to take care of yourself. You really do. You have to have things set up and in place to do those things for yourself. And so I'm thinking about retirement specifically because retirement is one of those things that, especially if you're a young listener, you think you have so much time. And life goes by so fast. It goes by so fast. You won't believe it. It sounds cliche, but you really won't believe how fast it goes. And so there are a couple of things that I think would be a better first step to do because life is all about balance. And I don't want you to have a scarcity mindset either, where you feel like, oh, I can't do anything and I can never enjoy it. You can do these things simultaneously, but you got to have a budget to do it so you'll know how and how much you can do. I don't want you to deprive yourself for long periods of time. You don't have to do that. You will have to make some adjustments, absolutely, to maybe some things that you are currently doing that you need to make some shifts on, but it should be temporary. It should be temporary because the whole point of this financial journey isn't set up to be so rigid that you can't be successful. There has to be a balance, but you could be working on paying off debt. You could be working on savings. You could be working on saving up for certain things that you need. All of this can be going on at the same time. Okay. So don't feel like, oh, I'll never be able to do that. Remember, I always say it's not about perfection, but it's about consistency. You have to be consistent. We're going to be doing, we talked about starting our Christmas sinking fund last week. And there's going to be, stay tuned for a video of us starting that and stuffing our first, whatever your first installment is or first deposit is to your Christmas sinking fund. Because we got to have Christmas funded. We're cash flowing Christmas this year. Okay. So a couple things I want you to consider doing first. When you get that raise or you get that new job, you're going to have to redo your budget, okay? You're going to first take that new figure, think about what your net could potentially be, an estimate of what your new net would be, whether you say new net biweekly paycheck or that new net monthly amount that you have coming in. Because the number they give you is gross. It's the gross number. It's not the net after taxes and expenses. So your net income, figure out what you have, and whatever is left, instead of looking at it as, ooh, I'm going to get that new subscription, look at it as, how much of this can I put in my savings? Right? How much of this can go in my savings account? It can be all of it, or it could be a portion of it, right? Another thing you can do, and I probably should have done these in reverse order. I didn't do this for a long time, but now I'm like, oh, I should have been doing this. But I didn't know about inflation, lifestyle inflation. I didn't know about it. So you know better, you do better. So I'm telling you now. bump up your 401k contributions by 1%. I now have this automated for myself, where every year it automatically bumps me up to a percentage of contribution into my 401k. I don't have to think about it. I already know it's going to happen. I'm budgeting anyway all the time, so I know what I have going in and what each line item is for and what I need to stick to. And so I don't even miss it. I don't miss it. But I also don't miss it because I'm doing all the other things I'm sharing with you. I'm doing gratitude. I practice that. I avoid comparison. I'm not saying I never do it. We're human, right? But I avoid getting stuck in that trap. I avoid the social media trap of them showing me extravagant dining experiences and vacations and clothes and wardrobes and all that. Because I have a bigger goal. I have a bigger goal. For me, it's about assets, not appearances. So I would rather bump up that 401k 1%. So yeah, that adds up, right? It started at 3, then it was 4, then it was 5, then it was 6. Wherever your employer's max, try to get to a point where you're at least at whatever their max is to match. That's a great goal to get to. If you can do more, that's even better. Young folks who don't have those responsibilities, those are things to do to build wealth. Versus, I got a new job, so I'm now I'm ready to get an apartment. I got a new job, I'm going to get a new car. I got a new job, I'm going to get the latest model iPhone or whatever, So that's what it is. That's the topic. And, think about it. Have you done it? I know I certainly have. I would be surprised. I'm sure there's somebody listening that's like, no, I've never done that. I always do this. I always save. And even if you're that person, you're like the super saver, which I sometimes think I'm a super saver, but I'm not. I have like rebellious or revenge spending tendencies at times because I can lean too much to the savings sometime, and then I'm like, oh, but I need stuff. I need stuff. And then all of a sudden I feel like it's really not a spending spree, but to me it feels like a spending spree because I'm purchasing all these things all at once that I need. They're actually needs, but I've just been like, oh, wait, I'll wait. So yeah, but there might be someone out there that doesn't fall into that. And if you don't, kudos, and please comment and let me know what your secret is. So, but that's all I have. Again, I hope this topic was helpful. If it was, please share this with a friend because I just think it's one of those topics that we usually are involved in. It's something that we do. It's like a natural tendency. It's like, hey, I got more, let me do more, right? But really, it's a thief to your wealth building. It's a thief to your journey. And so it's really all about being very strategic and balanced and sticking to that budget. If you have not done your budget yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? That budget is such a game changer in your financial journey. And it's just so eye-opening at times. Sometimes you just got to face the music and see where you are, what you've been spending, and where you need to cut back. And so those are all really good habits to get into. A lot of times people who have a lot of money, they're kind of frugal. They don't spend it. they have a lot of money because they're not being frivolous and overspending and getting things they don't need. They'll wear something completely out until it's absolutely necessary. And so I think that's a topic for another time too, and just kind of our mindset around why it's so important to us maybe to have name brand and things that give us a false sense of value and worth. So just some things to think about. But we will jump into that another time. That's my time today. I thank you so much for joining me. Again, if you haven't done so yet, like and subscribe. But until next time, remember that being good with money is not about perfection. It's about being clear and being consistent. I'll talk to you guys next time. Have a great week.